Eric, you've been involved in the ICS since its inception.
That's right.
What are your reflections on the ICS in 2012 and how do you see it developing?
I think it's wonderful. The way that all the specialties come together, the different professions, physiotherapists, nurses, urologists, gynecologists. You know, at the beginning, urologists and gynecologists really wouldn't speak to each other. And now we communicate and work together. I think that's essential. And the other important thing is meeting different cultures. And, you know, look at this. First time in Asia, first time in China, and a whole new scene. And as far as Norman is concerned, we were great friends. He joined in '72, and we interchanged emails in the last few years. We were out of touch for a little, and then came back in again. And he kept me on my feet, kept my feet on the ground when I was in office, because it's so easy to get carried away and think of it as your club. And it wasn't, of course. So he was a wonderful guy.
Absolutely. Now, you and Ted Arnold have recently produced a book looking at the history of the ICS, and that's obviously led you to reflect on what's gone before. Do you want to comment on that?
Yes, and also Norman, when he and Ted started it and invited me to join them, and that was a wonderful experience, going over all the old papers. And I'll tell you something that amuses me. There is now a tie for the society available on the booth here. And it all started when Professor Abelker in Paris had a joke with me. He said, you know, we should have a tie. I was visiting him looking at electrical stimulation throughout Europe. And I said to him, you can't have a tie without a club. And he smiled and I said, what would you think? I then went on to Gammelgaard in Copenhagen and asked him what did he think. Yes. Went back to Caldwell in Exeter. He said yes. Richard Turner Warwick said yes. So we got the Continent Club. And that's how it started. But they thought the Continent Club lacked gravitas, hence International Continent Society. But now we have the tie. I wish Abelker were here to see it.
So it all started in Caldwell's garden in a marquee.
That's right. Wonderful garden, wonderful time. And we had 60 members, roughly 60 members. Now about 3,000. Who would have thought it?
Absolutely. And I think the ICS is going to remain and go from strength to strength in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you.